Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Got a good video for you today looking at Tucker Carlson today. He has the creator of Libs of TikTok. So let's roll into it.
Most Twitter accounts start off anonymous, as did mine. When my account started growing, I realized the hatred that the left has and their violent nature. And I was like, I'm going to remain anonymous.
Yes.
And I have remained anonymous until now. Until I was doxxed. My name was shared. My location was shared. My photo was never shared, though I've never done any in-person events.
Doxing is a perfect example of the hatred of the left because they're really saying out loud, someone please go yell at this person or violently assault this person because I don't like what they're saying. And so therefore, I'm going to put every bit of information about this person out there in hopes that someone will go do something about what I dislike as the doxer. It's exposed by the simple fact that you doxed someone.
I know that I have helped create legislation to tackle some of these issues. And I think I've done all I can, and I am ready for the next step.
Through her exposure of what was happening on TikTok and what was happening in Florida with some teachers that were directly on there, it drew the attention of the Florida politicians who then took action and passed the so-called Don't Say Gay bill, which doesn't even say don't say gay in it, but that's what everyone keeps calling it to try to belittle and degrade the bill. But the truth is, it has created protections for children that very much needed it, and many more kids need that same protections, but she helped expose it in Florida.
I think that I'll be a lot more effective when I'm not so anonymous anymore.
Maybe it's time we start getting involved and not just letting the libs control our school boards, control our lower level governments, and get involved on those lower levels and really change so many things that our children are having to deal with and being exposed to that they don't have to be. And it's all easily protected by us just paying a little bit more attention to what's being exposed.
What you've done essentially is bring to further light, to publicize what they're already saying in public. That's your crime.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want it to be shown, though, to certain audiences. They want their content out there, but they don't want us to see it. So it doesn't really add up.
No, it doesn't add up, and they have no valid complaint against you.
Right.
You haven't violated anyone's privacy. You're posting what they put on TikTok.
They're allowed to post it, but we're just not allowed to notice. The crime is noticing what they're doing.
Yes. That's always the crime, isn't it?
It also exposes a serious mental illness to the fact that people who believe in something will post it online, but then when it gets exposed as not being all that mentally cohesive, then instead of changing the way of thinking to be mentally cohesive with 2 + 2 = 4, they believe that they should push people to censor the exposure of their ideas. I mean, what kind of mental illness is that you have ideas, but you don't support them to the point where you want them to be publicly known, because once they're publicly known and people make fun of your ideas that don't really work, then all of a sudden you want to take people's freedom of speech away and stop people from being able to talk about how your ideas don't make sense. That is an unbelievable level of mental illness that's being glanced over.
How did you wind up, to the extent you're comfortable sharing it, how did you wind up doing this? I assume you went to Columbia Journalism School to become a journalist?
I went to Harvard and Yale. Thank God I didn't, though, because those are now obviously, those institutions are all poisoned.
Look at how many statistics are out there of the amount of kids coming out of colleges and universities that are liberal, that vote Democrat, that don't believe in God, that don't have a lot of the foundational principles that align with the America that built the amazingness that they are taking advantage of. So it would make perfect sense that we're seeing the real world exposed from someone like herself. She's a real life person. She's not these people that we see on TV pretending to tell us the news or pretending to tell us facts.
So it started really during COVID. I was noticing all of this content that was being published on TikTok, and I was just like, this is crazy.
Wait,
like,
but at this point, you're not in a related field, like you weren't.
No.
You're not doing anything related to public policy or journalism.
Nothing related to politics, journalism, no. Media,
Were you
nothing.
very political?
No,
Really?
I was not, yeah.
Because COVID was like the other day. This was just a couple years ago.
Yeah, this was 2 years ago. Well, my account started 2 years ago, yeah.
Her only seeing it in the last 2 years illustrates the fact that so many more people need to wake up, and not woke up, but really wake up to what's happening. What is happening in our schools? What's happening in our government? What's happening when we just spent $1.7 trillion? I mean, really, what is happening? We just assume that these people that we elect are doing the right things for us, when a lot of cases, they're just doing what they need to do to get elected. We need to stop ignoring what craziness has been going on and do something about it, because we have an obligation to this country to not allow the people who do not appreciate this country to destroy it any more than they already have. And it's time that people who are informed help more people get informed, and all of us start to take action in an opposite direction that's destroying our country. It's so very clear. We're just too busy. We're just taking our kids to baseball practice or football practice, or we worked all day, or we did this, or we did that, and we're just so busy.
So you're not a super political person. You're not watching people's speeches on C-SPAN.
No.
No, you're just a normal person stuck inside.
Exactly. And then COVID happened. And I think that COVID, for me, and I think for a lot of people, it really woke people up.
We'll later on wish that we have done something if we just continue to sit back now. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Thanks to my new subscribers. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching. Later.